just take everything that he says with a pinch of salt, because like you, men will say they want one thing, but they respond to another. So yeah, he might, so what they say, they always say they want a woman that brings them peace. Believe him, he might want that, but it's the same version as you sitting there saying like you just want to meet a nice guy, and then when you do, you're not attracted to him. Like, it's not exciting, it's boring, doesn't get you feeling all like,
you're not just wrong, you're stupid. Now wait just a minute. And you're ugly, just like your mum.
Well, that's just because you're emotionally unhinged and doped up to the gills on several psychiatric medications, sweetheart. You see, it's not that you think men are bored with peaceful women. It's that you're bored with men who don't fill your life with excitement. You spent your most valuable years in an endless rush of hedonistic pleasure. You wanted fun, so you sought out fun, which typically involved wasting money on alcohol, expensive clothing, and international travel. And in that fun were plenty of men who fit your fantasy to a T, but now you're getting older and your baby maker's about to raise the white flag, so you want to find a good man, but you're bored out of your skull and you assume that's because he doesn't want a boring woman. Men don't think like you, lady. We can't. There isn't enough bottom shelf boxed wine to make us that stupid. If we say we want peace, it's because we deal with enough chaos in our lives and we don't want some used up broad to add on to that particular load. It really isn't that complicated.
nope. So the same man that'll sit there and say he wants a woman that brings him peace is responding to the woman that would bring him hell. A peaceful life is him doing whatever he wants and you accepting it. They don't respect that. Never have, never will. Sorry, I've been MIA, I've been sick, but I'm back.
No.
Woman, I don't know how to tell you this, but a man is fully capable of creating his own peace and doesn't need you to do that for him. Just ask any man who's been burned by enough women and he'll tell you, making his own peace is a hell of a lot easier than risking it for a woman who thinks that men want somebody to come in and make his life a living hell. Men like that have created quiet, comfortable lives filled with things that they want to do, be it video games, working out, or the ultimate Pinewood Derby matches over at Skeeter's house. But here's the best part, Toots. We're actually able to do the things in life we enjoy without the unwarranted judgment from a woman who thinks that we need to abandon our lives to cater to her. Men have to deal with enough garbage in life without having to deal with more from an ungrateful harlot who think men just want a woman
whose life must be an unendurable hellscape of excruciating sadness.
So how long do these first relationships post-divorce last before you realize they're not for you? This question is so juicy and I can't wait to have this conversation. Ladies, gentlemen, it's time to talk. I was the woman that my husband met less than a year out of his divorce. And by woman, I mean I was a 19-year-old and he was 31. Now, I got married to this person within 6 months. So when I say all these things to you, I say it from a place of wisdom and deep learning and understanding because 12 years later I get divorced as his second wife.
Man, you are one pathetic loser. No offense.
Alright, I think I pieced together what's going on here. He got divorced originally, met you, and then married you about 6 months later without thinking. It's been known to happen, and the two of you stuck it out for 12 years before getting divorced again. But here's the thing. How can you consider yourself a wise sage in the world of marriage when you're omitting some key details here? Who initiated the divorce? What caused the divorce? How much money are you getting in child support? Because I think I'm hearing a couple of spawns running around in the background there. You're the type of woman who measures her value on the number of comments you get in a video. So if you truly were a victim of this horrendous marriage, you'd be at least dropping hints of how bad of a husband he was. It's a classic telltale sign of the modern divorced woman. The less you divulge, the more wrong you are. That's why you focus on the meaningless details while omitting the stuff that actually matters, because there aren't any. The divorce was clearly a cash grab. Prove me wrong, woman. I know you won't, though.
Now, if you look in the comments of everyone that came through this video that I posted, you're gonna marry the next one on the list. So many people were in this relationship for years, between 3 and 6 years, or actually got married to this person and are now just getting divorced. So I think it depends, but like I'm telling you, the first person you meet, I don't care if you've been divorced for 5 years and you start dating that first person, you better strap on your thinking cap and be thinking about the fact that you don't have the skills of practiced detachment, and they need to be skills that you develop in healthy dating. Because we need to evaluate relationships not just on connection. You've got to be connected, but also, are you going in the right direction? The same direction. And not only that, but what is this person's capacity for change? Can they change as much as you do?
Oh, that answer is simple. The answer is no. And that's because you refuse to change. You don't feel like you should have to. You feel like you've changed, but all you've really done is increase the amount of entitlements to try and counterbalance the decrease in your overall value as a human. Well, that and trust issues, but you'll always have those. Don't believe me? Well, you're already projecting that the men you date post-divorce are already incompatible with you and need to change in order to be with you, which just means that you want them broken down and remolded in your cruel, ugly, unrelenting image. You're not a pillar of evolution, woman. Quite the opposite, I'm afraid. You demand change from men when you can't even make any positive changes in your own life. So allow me to give you a little bit of free advice, sister. You want change? Well, then learn how to change your own adult diapers. It's gonna help you out when you're living alone. You're welcome.
Can they change as quickly as you do? Are they open to changing? Are you open to changing to the same capacity and speed at which this other person can change and pivot? Like, this stuff it's not enough. Connection is not enough. And if I can't, I will say it till I'm blue in the face. It's not just about attachment. It's so much more than that. And I'm so grateful for every person that comes in my comments and says, I got married 3 times, I got married 2 times, because it's just giving you the information you need to cause more self-awareness in your life and to make quality decisions for yourself, and also to challenge yourself to do the emotional work when it comes to dating. It's why I have 10 pieces of pizza. If you don't know what that is, it's a dating method that I have on my page. And if you need help with this, I would love to help you. I would just love it. You know where to find me. Love you, bye.
What?
Lady, I don't see how you can help anybody when you don't even understand the words that are coming out of your own mouth. You're just talking to listen to yourself talk at this point. You contradicted yourself no less than 3 times in a 45-second period. You want to live in a world where people look up to you and see you as a font of wisdom, but the only thing you are is a swamp of worthless platitudes. You've said nothing of actual substance to anybody, and yet you feel like you need to involve yourself in the relationships of people you've never met because you think your failure at life somehow makes you magically qualified to give people advice. But sister, I gotta tell you, I feel more comfortable taking advice from a schizophrenic hobo than I would from you. At least that guy would be slightly more coherent, and the odds of him saying something of actual value will be drastically higher, even if it was on accident. Plus, it'll cost me less of a headache, so the way I see it, I gotta go with the hobo on this one. But that choice was already fairly obvious.
Again! 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 Yeah!
I'm an escort that slept with many hundreds of men.
That's why I praise the Lord for prostitutes.
And I wanted to highlight here a comment that I get a lot. So men really be outing themselves. He's basically saying the free kitty cat that you get, so the wifey kitty cat, is the most expensive in the long run and least quality. There are a lot of men out there who resent their wives. They do not value their wives. There are a lot of men who claim to like wifey material women, or claim that a wifey material woman is what they want, but they're actually not telling you the full story of what they're actually wanting. They want wifey material to do everything for them, provide them with the lifestyle, be good to them, be a good girl, stay at home, not stepping out on them, cooking, cleaning, having kids for them.
And
Woman, you've been run through worse than a back alley behind a seedy bar on New Year's Eve. You have no idea what you're talking about. If a man resents his wife, it's usually because the wife resented him first. If a wife isn't holding up her end of the bargain by being a dedicated wife, which means completing certain wifely duties, including bedroom fun with a minimum amount of enthusiasm, then yes, resentment can grow there, especially when she denies him bedroom fun and gives him crap for years on end. But if a woman and a man truly dedicate themselves to each other and work through their issues, there can be a strong emotional bond there. But that's gone out the window with modern feminism, as well as avenue strollers who think their ability to be boned by hundreds of men makes her a relationship expert.
Making them look good to society, like look like a family man, support him in achieving his hopes and dreams, building him up. Half the time these days paying like 50% or more financially, because she's also doing this plus having a job. But at the end of the day, like I'm telling you as an SW that's been with many hundreds of men,
That's why I say prostitutes, prostitutes.
they're not telling you the second part of the story is they want wifey material, but they also want the baddie on the side, like who they really want, the bad bitch, like the young, hot, sexy thing.
Say what now? What now?
Well, slap me on the belly with a wet trout. You mean to tell me that men are attracted to young, sexy women? Well, golly gee willikers. The next thing you're gonna tell me is that you can actually order a pizza and have it delivered to your house for a nominal fee. Lady, this is nothing new. Men have always been drawn to women like that. So what exactly is your point on this one? If a man is dedicated and loyal to his wife, yeah, he might look every once in a while. He's a man, not a monk, but that doesn't mean that he's gonna try and go after her. He swore a vow to another woman, a woman who's weaponized the entire household against him. It doesn't matter how much he cooks or cleans or whatever percentage of the bills that he pays, he is always evil and she is always the victim. And if a man goes to the point where he is resenting his wife, then trust me, woman, it's years in the making and brought forth from an ungrateful broad who was dead set on dragging him down before the ink on the marriage license was able to dry.
So you get a lot of men like this kind of telling you like they're resenting their wives and they're viewing it as like a chore and they're viewing them as like the most expensive and least quality. He's telling you right here. They're the least quality, like they're the lowest value. There are a lot of men out here that will exploit the love and care of a wifey material woman. Then as soon as they're built up to a level where they can go after the bad bitch, the baddie, the one who's not wifey material, that's what they go after. That's what they want. They want like a bitch like me. Like, I'm sorry.
Really?
Alright, well since you keep bringing it up, let's go ahead and talk about low quality poontang. The reason why married men are complaining about this subject is because after years of marriage, in many cases, the bedroom starts to die a slow and agonizing death. If a man tries to initiate intimacy with his wife, and the wife is constantly denying him, that usually means in the rare occurrence that it does happen, it's going to be quick, emotionless, and downright unsatisfying. Men have physical and emotional needs, which are difficult to be met when his wife is constantly denying him that connection to the woman that he loves. So yes, compound that over a few years, and the man has every right to grow bitter at his wife just continues to exploit him for resources without giving him any form of respect or intimacy in return. And then they turn to you for desperation, not because you're a baddie. Like, I'm sorry, sweetheart, that's just the truth.
That's why a lot of women are really upset if they are married with kids and stuff. They really get really upset with SWs. Like, how could you do this like to other women or whatever? They're projecting, they're upset at themselves because they go, in their mind, I've done everything right and I've followed the formula that society told me to follow and I did everything that men in my life fucking told me to do. I provided everything for him. How dare he? Like, why is he stepping out? And they get angry at the woman for like destroying the family. And it's like, no, like he didn't see your value like in that way. There are a lot of men out here, like, you know, look around. There are a lot of men out here who's like don't see a woman's value in those things. They claim to want wifey material, but they want a baddie. So how do you fix that and like feel better about yourself? Be a baddie yourself. Care less, do less, look after yourself, go to the gym, go like make yourself pretty, go to the spa, go out with your friends, like do a lot more things for yourself. That's how you fix it.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
Sister, I really don't think it's a smart idea to be judging a person's value when your value is literally financially tied to how many men you can bone. Men don't want to deal with the headache of a baddie. They just want someone who's going to respect him and actually care for him for the lifelong oath they both swear. But we're not having that anymore because women like you come up and tell other women to ignore their husbands, and you're basing this so-called wisdom off of the hundreds of men that you've slept with. But if you're such an expert, then where is your husband? Where is your lifelong relationship? Where is that special someone who proves that you know what you're talking about? Because I can promise you one thing, darling, it ain't the man who's paying you. I promise you, he has better things to do than build up a relationship with a worthless failure. And this video was successfully completed thanks to, in part, by the members of the Bounty Board over on Patreon. Thank you for your support. Truly certified gents, every single one of you. All hail. And if you're interested in supporting the channel, check out the Bounty Board over on Patreon. For $5 a month, you get access to exclusive content, as well as a personal shout out and a permanent producer credit at the end of every episode. It's a great way to support the channel at a great price. Check it out. The link is in the pinned comment down below. And of course, you can support the channel by liking this video, sharing, subscribing, and leaving comments. There is always more than one way to give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you once again for checking out the new video, gentlemen and gents, and until next time, peace out, homies.